Hi there, Derek Hagan here. I'm a financial therapist, financial planner, and life coach specializing in meaning in life, mindfulness, and resilience here with another meaningful money memo. Let's get to it. Let's talk about coping. Life is a never ending series of setbacks and struggles and problems. Yet so many people are so distraught and surprised even by the arrival of the next setbacks or challenge. The ability to cope with life's setbacks, stresses, and challenges really builds resilience. And it kind of goes both ways. Resilience makes it easier to cope with these setbacks as well. And when we think about coping and resilience, I want to think about this in terms of a couple of different variables, right? So there's the things that are in your control and the things that are outside of your control, and there's the things that you do. And we can chart these two variables, what's in and out of your control and what are you doing, into a 2x2 grid. So if we take the 2x2 grid, which will be 4 squares, and we put the things that are in your control across the top. So on one side, these are the things that are in your control. On the other side, these are the things that are out of your control. And then across the other axis, we'll put, are you doing these things or are you not doing these things? Now this gives us kind of the 4 options of ways that you can cope with adversity. And so if you do the things that are in your control, we'll call this active coping. This is the best way, or one of the best ways, a great way to get over setbacks and challenges and stress. And doing the things that are in your control can be things like reaching out to friends, reaching out to family members, hiring professionals. It could be educating yourself or researching things that you might be able to do, but you're taking action. You're taking action and doing things that you need to do in order to get over what just happened to you. Another good way to cope is to relinquish control of things that you don't have control over. So surrendering is to say, I'm not going to do things that are outside of my control. And these are called adaptive coping strategies. The blue here is adaptive coping. So doing the things that are in my control and letting go of, getting comfortable letting go of and accepting the things that are out of my control are 2 ways that you can adaptively cope to get over your situation. It's going to be likely to get you through that setback so you can recover from it and sometimes even grow and learn from it. Now, the opposite of adaptive coping is maladaptive coping. And with maladaptive coping, you're either doing things that are not in your control. So this is over control. This is trying to control the uncontrollable. In the world of the stock market, this might just be buying and selling things because it feels like doing something is better than not doing something, even though you know that the stock market is out of your control. You're uncomfortable at this in this box with uncertainty, so you're trying to do things because it feels like at least I can say I'm doing something, even though it may not be anything that's worthwhile. This box, over control, is a waste of your energy. It's a waste of your time, your money. It's a waste of your resources. So trying to control the uncontrollable isn't likely to get you better, at least not very quickly. Then you can think about passive coping. Passive coping is when people have things that they could do. I could reach out to friends. I could hire a professional. I could stop spending my money. I could save more. Or the opposite, I could spend more money. I could have better conversations, but I'm not doing it. And this not doing it could be an ostrich head in the sand, because I think it's going to be more stressful in the short run, even though it would help me in the long run. I don't want to have that uncomfortable conversation. I don't want to tell my friends that I failed at this business. I don't want to do this. Or there could be some embarrassment factor here. But that's passive coping. And passive coping is not doing the things that are in your control. You have tools that you're not using. Let's look at this control for a second. If you think about how much control you exert over something, you got control here on the horizontal axis. Now this middle piece here, this is the adaptive coping. This is when you're exercising an appropriate amount of control over the things that you have control over. Now remember, if you try to control too much or too little, that's going to be maladaptive. So on the left side of here, you're not controlling enough. This is when you're not doing the things that are available to you. I'm not doing enough. Maybe I'm hoping for some white knight to come in and save me or something like that. On the other side, there's the over control. This is trying to control the uncontrollable. So finding that nice sweet spot of doing things that are in your control and not getting go of things that are already control is very helpful. Now, in terms of your behavior, your actions, we can think about behaviors that are not helpful. Things that are unhelpful, and this is not doing things that are in your control, is things like avoidance or denial or withdrawal. I'm not talking to people. I'm holed up in my house. Wishful thinking. It'll get better. I don't have to worry about this. I think it's going to be better. Versus doing things that are likely to get you better, which is educating yourself, reaching out to friends and family, taking responsibility for your situation instead of playing the role of the victim, and maybe planning for things in the future. So let's look at this in terms of like a pie chart. So you've got the things that are in your control, and you've got the things that you're doing. The maladaptive ways, not doing what you can. This is passive coping, because here, this dot lies in the realm of things that I can do about whatever's happened to me, about the stressful situation, about the setback, about the trauma that I've experienced. There are things that I can do, but I'm not doing them. And that's why this is in red. Alternatively, there's me using my actions on things that I don't have control over, and this is going to spin my wheels. Trying to control the uncontrollable is just spinning my wheels. Now, if instead we can focus on the sweet spot, the intersection here, this is when you're actually doing the things that are in your control. You are taking action, and it might take some time, and it might not feel like it right away. But if you can do the things that are in your control, you're more likely to recover from the setback. And then out here, relinquishing control of what you don't have control over, accepting the situation, and focusing on things that you can control. So maybe I can't control this, but I can shift my thinking to being able to control that. Think about things through this lens. What's in your control, and are you doing those? That will help you get over your setbacks and struggles and stress. You get one life. Live intentionally. Greetings, Derek again. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to learn more, please head to meaning.blog, and there you can learn about all things related to money and mindset and purpose and meaning. And you'll be able to find out how we might be able to work together. You'll find more articles. You'll find links to videos. You'll find online courses, all kinds of things to get you going on your journey towards living more intentionally.